to have continuity there. It'll help.
Any questions about this? I actually drove out there with that, and it looks really good. Of course, that's a surface, you saw
Yeah.
it bigger during
Right,
construction.
yeah.
So you're
A lot of
coming-
utilities out there. Yes.
Okay, make a motion that we accept the right-of-way dedication, the IC turn lane. We need to say anything more than that on that covers it, shouldn't it?
That covers it. Yes, sir.
Second.
Mr. Moore will second. Any other questions and concerns? Roll call, please.
Jim Raisman.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Tim Atkinson.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Before I let you go,
Okay.
George,
Yes,
there's
sir.
something else.
Yes.
I didn't ask you about this in the office a few months ago. but Can you give us an update on the roundabout at Crenshaw?
Yes, absolutely. So the pre-job was last Wednesday at IDA. So, Sam Ron is the contractor and they're hoping to get started May 1st. We're wanting to wait for school to be out. So for any closures. So that way we can go ahead and do some of the pre-closure work. I've met with all the utilities out there. We're either out of the way or have a plan to be out. The construction is intended to last or expected to last the entire summer.
And then pretty much fully open by the time school starts?
That's what we're hoping. That's what we're hoping. Mother Nature doesn't throw anything at us, but yeah, that's exactly. We have the trees down there. We're all ready to go. Looking forward to it.
George,
Yes.
been in contact and I'm talking to you about a little bit about adopt a highway program, but they reached out to me. And I know that's an area there's a lot of traction with the closure of that. Can I have them call you, would you rather not? Maybe where at that time, because of the less traffic, they could clean that up.
That would be great.
Is that all right?
Yeah, all three legs of that roundabout, that would be an excellent time. We're actually doing some local work on culverts and roads leading up to that under the closure as well. It's a perfect time to take advantage of it. Yes, sir, that'd be great.
Good on that. Okay, any other road closures or any other road construction of note?
You know,
Has
just-
impact?
Just the short-term drainage problems that we've had with the storm. That stormwater on the south seems to be receding very fast. On the northwest, where we're big muddy, we've got issues there.
That is forecasted to crest on Thursday.
Yeah, I've seen that,
Okay,
yeah.
yes.
I sent you that stuff yesterday.
Right.
And they're saying that by Tuesday or Thursday, it'll be, no, by next Tuesday, it should be below flood stage. Things.
Great.
And you also blacktop Reed Center.
Reed Cemetery, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that-
Asphalt
you
there.
did that. And then you also did Rocky Comfort.
Rocky Comfort, yes, sir. So we've been busy.
So you've been busy.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And the weather cooperated with us there right up until this storm, believe it or not, to sneak something in that early. You know, that's kind of unheard of. So we're pretty fine.
Okay, I think that's all I have. You guys got anything else? George, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
See if I have any old business for tonight. What would you like to talk about? Okay, moving on. New business. Crosswalk and Shelley Powell. Now, Jim, are you chairman of the Crosswalk?
Yes, I'm the
Would you like to
chairman
take this then?
of the Crosswalk Action Agency, and, you know, there's a number of different agencies throughout the county that do various functions. I thought it might be good just to have our executive director, Shelley Powell. Shelley, if you come up and give us a little rundown on just what Crosswalk does. I just thought it'd be important to let everybody know.
I want some information too, so that everybody would, after I leave, kind of have an idea of what we do. So this is our agency-wide impact report, and this is for fiscal year 2024. we just completed our reports for 25, so it runs a year behind. And then I also have a laminated map of the counties that Crosswalk serves. So that will help everyone as well. Jim, you want another one? Okay. I have some for the audience as well. So I'll start with the community, Crosswalk Community Action Agency Impact Report. If you open it up, it kind of tells about who we are. We serve 11 counties throughout Southern Illinois. And the map also goes over the counties that we serve. Because in each county, we do something just a little bit different. And then we have housing services, which includes rental assistance, weatherization, housing rehabilitation, ramps, and small home repairs. We have utility services for energy assistance. We have a diaper program called Covered Bottoms. We have scholarships and shoe cards that we give out throughout the schools in Southern Illinois. And we also, our scholarships also include, like, if someone has graduated from high school, they're in college, we also give additional scholarships to college students as well. So you don't just have to be graduating from high school. We did recently lower that to a $500 scholarship, just because our funding has gone different directions, and so we have reallocated some things. We also do small, less expensive car repairs, and we can also make car payments. We did have this list, the Franklin County Food Pantry. We have closed the Franklin County Food Pantry, and we have chose to go a different route with that funding. We have recently came up with it's a senior SAC program. It's called the Vintage Vines. You have to be 60 or over, and we're going to all 4 counties that we serve with our community service block grant, which is the acronym for that is CSVG. So we do lots and lots of things throughout Southern Illinois. Probably the one that you hear about the most is our low-income heating and energy assistance program. And so that one is the program that we provide energy payments to energy bills. So Kim gave me, our LIHEAP coordinator, gave me the numbers for that. Currently in Williamson County, we have entered 1,786 applications. We've approved 1,656. And right now we have obligated $982,467. So that program will run through, they're going to take it through the end of August. We'll run out of funding before August, but we have a funding obligation of $2,595,457 for all of the counties that we serve. On the map that I gave you, it has got a little mixed up because our weatherization department, and when I say weatherization, that is the department that goes in and it makes homes more energy efficient. We set up what they call a blower door. They then turn the blower door on and they can go around with different tools and test for leaks in vents around windows and doors. And we do a lot of caulking, insulating homes. They'll do the crawl spaces and different things to get that home where it is, a lot more energy efficient. With that program, we can also replace freezers if an individual has like a super old freezer that's sucking a lot of energy, or an old refrigerator. We also have a line in there where we can replace some of their appliances and make that more energy efficient for them. Our weatherization department was voted throughout the state as the #1 weatherization department in the state of Illinois for 2 years in a row. So we do have an awesome weatherization team. One of the other community action agencies had to give up their weatherization department, and the state asked us if we would take that. So that's when we went from serving 4 counties to 11. So if you'll look at your map, we serve Saline County for weatherization, Gallatin County, White, Hamilton, Wabash, Edwards, and Wayne. We also serve Jefferson, Franklin, and Williamson for weatherization. So it kind of really muddied the waters and it gets a little bit confusing. So this is a great tool if you're out and about and you hear of someone that is needing any of these services. You'll know if we offer that service in your county. Of course, for weatherization is Williamson County. For the low-income heating and energy assistance program, that's also going to be Williamson County. And for our community service block grant, CSBG, that's also we take care of Williamson County for that program as well. You know, you were talking about the storms that we just recently had. Through the community service block grant, there is set aside funding that if your county that you're serving has a storm or some kind of disaster, that our agency can reach out to the state, and through that grant, we can ask for additional funding to help in whatever crisis is needed in that particular situation. At times before, we've had flooding, and we have asked to if we could get, I forget how much money, but then we gave out Walmart gift cards. And so in that kind of situation, you don't have to necessarily fall within a certain income guideline to receive that service. Anyone that is in that area that has been affected by that crisis or storm, whatever kind it is, that they are eligible for that funding. Is there anything else I should touch on?
No, I think you've covered it really well. There's a lot of these services, like I said, that are just available that most people don't, I'll say most, but a lot of people just don't understand or realize what crosswalk can do.
Yes, I mean, we touch a lot of lives. The impact report gets better at kind of telling how many people we have touched. We in this particular report, we did 117 homes that we weatherized. We helped 11,096 with electric. Homes assisted with rent and mortgage, 285. Boxes of diapers that were provided, 157. Scholarships awarded, 20. Shoe parts distributed, 300. Houses that were rehabilitated, 25. And people that had received food at that time, that was our Franklin County Food Pantry, 30,770 people. I didn't really touch on housing rehabilitation. Crosswalk doesn't write for all of Williamson County. We only write for certain towns in Williamson County. We've done Craneville, Brill Springs, Pittsburgh. There's lots of different towns that we do write. We've never, I don't think, written for Marion specifically. We don't write for Johnston City, but you could always reach out to us and find out if we're writing for that town, and we'll be glad to, answer any questions that you would all have about that. So, yeah, always reach out. Keep this handy. There's a lot of people that you guys are in contact with that we're never going to meet, and that you could steer them our way, and so that we can better serve, the citizens of Williamson County.
I know we just had our website redone, but is there a link on our website?
I don't know, I have to check. Because
Check
I know
if not,
crosswalk is
I
on
think
there.
I think it'd be great where we could put at least their link on there. Contact.
Does anyone have any questions for me?
Yeah, I do. I work for RSVP, we do the elderly. You helped out a lady, Miss Kay Sanders, last year with an air conditioner. Bless you, thank you for that.
Yes.
Now, if RSVP was aware of all the stuff that you guys, programs that you have, I'm sure that they would appreciate it. They are the Egyptian agency, I'm part of it.
On aging?
Yeah,
Yes.
Egyptian program on it.
We are in contact with a lot of those agencies, especially through our low-income heating assistance program. Many times, some of those senior services agencies actually help do the applications for the seniors. And then we are able to pick them up and immediately put them in the computer. They don't have to go through a lot of the application.
Also, there's the House of Hope in Herring.
Yes.
I work there 4 hours a day, help feed people. And there's a lot of programs that you're saying that I'm sure that they would love to know more about.
And all of this information is on our website,
Okay.
so you can always tell them to,
Google it.
yeah, get on our website and find the information. If not, give us a call, and we're always willing to.
Because we're constantly posting stuff. You know, if you need help with this, or you need- I would be looking into that.
Just, okay, yes, I'll hand everybody one of these, and then I will step aside and let the meeting continue. Yes, here's an extra one.
Thanks, Shelley. We appreciate you taking time out there.
And thank you all for having me, I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Next on the agenda is a quote for phones. When we changed over the phone system a few years ago, we bought a handful of extra phones. And I think those phones were used to go through them. And what's your thoughts, guys? Do we need to pick up another 5 phones for $699.75? These are spares from what I understand.
It was my understanding that when we made the original purchase, we did purchase spares for expansion. We have started with as many as 10, and we've added so many desks since that the last time I heard from Mayor, they had used all those up. He asked if I thought we should be looking at 5 or 10, and I thought 5. A little more reasonable. I do think it's a good idea to have spares. I don't think we necessarily need 10.
I agree on that. 5.
Okay. What would you like to take it down? This is contingency versus capital improvement?
I would lean in towards that.
I think we have enough unallocated in your living capital.
So is there a motion?
Make a motion then that we pick up 5 phones from Mayor. And the money to be taken out of the capital improvement line item. Again, the total cost of that was what, $699.75, $699.75 per phone. Or is that total?
Yes,
That's total.
$139.95 per.
Yes, I get it. I see that. So it's total is $699.75. I make that motion.
Second.
Jim Razer,
Okay.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Tim Anderson.
Yeah. All right, about 2 weeks ago, so I was approached by the coroner's office asking about the laptop. And the laptop to me makes sense for them. They're kind of desperate now when they go out to the morgue. Any kind of information they need from the computer that they don't have access to. And so she, Pam from the coroner's office asked us if we would mind purchasing her a new laptop. And I told her I'd bring it to you guys and let you decide. Any comments, any thoughts about this? We have 2 prices. We have one for $2,394.89, and another one for $998.95. And I did ask Pam, the less expensive one will absolutely cover her for what she needs.
I think the specs on the more expensive machine are items that they would not use in their normal daily work. The basic machine, I agree with you that it makes total sense. They need it so they can stay connected.
Yeah.
More and back and forth. But I think the basic machine will fill all of the needs.
And I think this is probably driven because the new coroner he operates his office a little bit differently than the new coroner does. And I think that's probably the big reason for this change of this request. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I agree. I think the one for the 998.
Okay, is there a motion?
That motion then that we approve the funding of a laptop for the coroner's office. The cost of $998.85.
Overall, please.
Jim Racer.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Okay.
Jim Anderson.
Is that capital improvement also?
Yeah, that would be capital.
Yes.
Okay, EMA position, right?
Thank you very much for the board's consideration of changing the flow of the position as the deputy director. What I'm proposing, and I've shared the proposal with you guys, what I'm proposing is instead of filling that with a full-time position is to break it into 2 part-time positions. I think that the dynamics of that particular position would be better suited with some folks who don't necessarily want to commit to a 40-hour work week. With the salary level that we're offering, our applicant pool was the folks that were highly qualified were like, I like the idea, I just don't want to be tied to a 40-hour week job. So that kind of precipitated the thought of, well, what could we do to split it to attract the best candidates for the position? So the proposal was to split it into 2, and on the salary page, if you looked at based on $28 an hour with the annual salary that was allocated for that position of $36,400, with the total package salary and benefits could be as high as $53,225.92. Break it into 2 20-hour-a-week positions would make a total allocation of $20,800 per employee, or $41,600 annual outlay, with no anticipation for benefits. So it could be an overall savings for the county moving forward. I believe that having this as a part-time position, we are going to mimic the way Franklin County runs their program. And with the 2 part-time positions moving forward, even if we lose one, we still have, 1 part-time position, that's operational. And I think it's going to make it easier to fill that position moving forward. And I know what Franklin County has done with their program is they have targeted the emergency services, and they've looked at, career firefighters to fill those positions who are already in the system, who understand the emergency operations. And, those folks tend to work, a split shift where they're on for some, period of time, and then they have a couple days off. And I think moving forward, this agency could benefit from trying to attract those folks as well. So my recommendation to you, or my proposal to you, was to split it. And I brought it to the board because it does change the calculus, because what was in my budget was only the $36,800 for the salary. I did not have the ability to affect the benefit package. So my question, or my proposal to you is to allocate the $41,600 to be able to split that into 2 part-time positions.
What did you have again for your salary?
So the original was $36,400 was my top. And that did not include the IMRF and the employee-only insurance.
Right. And then the 41,000.
The $41,600 is 2 part-time employees at 20 hours per week for a total of $20,800 each.
And you need to keep them under 1,000 hours, though. You would probably need to do 19 hours a week.
They'd have to be 200,000.
Under 1,000 hours annually?
Yes.
Brett, I know I sent that over to you, look at it, and you had a concern about overtime.
So the concern that I had was currently as a salaried position, or a 36,400, it can be 43 hours, it can be 50 hours, depending upon the event that comes into play. changing them over to two part-time positions that become hourly employees, at which point then they're subject to potential overtime. So if we have a disaster that comes forward and they have to put in 55 hours, you're gonna pay 15 hours of overtime for that 40. That doesn't take into account, I think we can get around the IMRF issue because it's not anticipated. But if it became a regular occurrence, then we would have to enroll them in benefits, not only IMRF, but then also potentially health insurance. So that's the downside of switching it over to two part-times is you can't predict what your hours are gonna be.
Correct.
And having a salaried position as opposed to an hourly position, we can put that person out and have them work whatever hours we need them to work. Whereas the part-time, we have to be cognizant of the fact that we're gonna pay them for every hour that they're working.
Did I not understand that the deputy directorship's position at 36,400 was under the threshold for a full-time employee by state mandate of 45,900? So we would have to have made that position hourly moving forward.
Now, the federal courts in Texas took that changeover on the minimum wage for salary exempt and washed it. So it was,
Okay, so
that went
that's,
to 45 and then it was scheduled to go to 58
right.
or somewhere around there. And the federal government said, nope, we're gonna deem that as not proper when the new administration came in.
Okay.
So everything rolled back to the traditional.
Okay.
So that's my only concerns. I understand what he's trying to do. It could work and it could save, or it could cost.
So I only have 2.5 years of experience to base my opinion on. We've had 3 relatively small disasters within those 2.5 years, and those can be managed with the current staffing levels of 20 or 19 hours per week per person plus my salary. But I can't accommodate for another COVID where that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, until we get some sort of stabilization in the situation.
I don't think it'll be COVID. I think might be measles.
Right. But I'm just saying that I can't account for those. The only benefit I could say is if we have a large enough disaster and they open up the disaster, if we get a DR declaration, then everything that we put out in capital for salaries would be recoverable under the disaster. So yes, we would have the overtime initially, but then we would be able to recover that through a disaster declaration, essentially. Yes, it would cost the county up front, but I know that we recovered a lot of those overtime funds under the DR for the COVID. But yeah, I get that, but I don't foresee that that's really going to be an issue because we would adjust and not work people to accommodate the 20 hours.
Thoughts?
Brett, would there be a minimum period that we could attempt this restructure? That if it just doesn't work, we can come back to the desk and redo it again?
Yeah, I think from a legal standpoint, there's not an issue with it. It's just the fairness to the applicants that are applying to a job that potentially goes away in 12 months. That's.
And I guess that's why I'm asking if we could do it to a minimum and just finish out the fiscal year, not even do a full 12-month commitment.
Yeah, they're at will. So I mean, at any point, as long as we're not terminating somebody because they announced they're going to go on pregnancy leave or something, I mean, one of those protected classes, we're fine.
If we went that route, in my mind, then that would allow us to adjust budget on the next budget. And we learn if this works or not.
And that was really what I was going to suggest, is that we try a full year. I understand Red's concerns about that. And like Brian says, we haven't had a serious emergency like that. I think it's worth a try. This is his office, and I'd like to give him free to run his office. Jim, you got any concerns about it?
Myself personally, I'm just not comfortable making a decision. It's just we just got the email just the other day. I'd like to wait until our next
Which,
It's not a regular board. We'll have a meeting sometime this month, sure. To discuss something.
okay,
That's just me.
now, Brian, what was your timeframe? Were you looking to implement this immediately?
So, yeah, as soon as I was given permission, either way, I have the candidates in place. And either way, if you told me no, then I was going to make the full-time offer, and if you told me yes, I was going to. So it is, my intention is to make the offers contingent on your, either way.
How long do you think, Jim, you might need to work your way through that?
You know, probably, I'd like to say, consider our meeting this afternoon.
Because I
In the
don't
next,
have,
very next meeting we have, I'm sure.
as of right now, I don't have a meeting on the horizon yet. I don't have anything for a meeting coming up. I mean, and like, you know, that can change
Yeah.
day by day.
But that's just me.
Jim, what's your thought?
On the proposal that you have in front of you, I did have the addition of one cell phone at a cost of $600 per year. That's in it, but I can absorb that into my budget until the next fiscal year. And then one of the things that I failed to include on this is I would need another Office 360 account. I know that those are no longer paid for by the individual offices, but that is a cost that the county moves.
How much was that cost? You know?
I do not know, because I don't know what Mayor is charging you guys, because they do a bulk contract with that. I don't have those dollars. I would not need the email address that Mayor provides, because we have our own email, but I would need another Microsoft. And I mean, I could purchase it separately, but I don't want to do that. I want to keep it all within the same ecosystem.
Yeah, this is one of this as well.
You have furniture you would need.
Yes, sir. Yep, my intention would be is to take the current deputy director's office and break it into what I would call a bullpen with 2 desks, and it just be a strategic plan.
For the software, do you have an extra computer? Do you need 3 computers?
I already have those purchased. One of the ones that I had purchased specifically for the mobile operations center, I can repurpose into the second, or the second one.
And then you have 2 vehicles currently. You have 3 people.
Correct, and the second truck would be assigned to the part-time positions for business purposes. It would remain on campus, and then they would be able to use it for attendance at meetings and do kind of business.
No, Chairman, I go along with what you said. I think letting the director run the office the way he thinks it will be most efficient in his style.
I support that too.
As far as running the office, I support that.
I'm not sure that I have a place where I'm gonna change my opinion. Do you think your opinion can be changed?
No, I think the numbers I've seen, the numbers that have come up, we're going to stay within the budget I'm talking about. It sounds like we will have to do a budget adjustment where we have money set back for IMRF and insurance. We may need to move that into a different line just to keep his numbers all in the black, but the numbers there. I'm not asking for more money other than the software. So,
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's about $6,000, $5,000 change. Employee cost. I don't have a problem doing that. Okay. Well, Jim, I know that you wanted to wait, but I don't think we're gonna change our minds on that. So I make a motion that we approve the EMA position going to a 2-person,
2 part-time
2 part-time positions
at 19 hours per week.
at less than 1,000 hours per week. Roll call, please.
Jim Razor,
Okay,
Jim Marlowe,
Abstain.
Tim Atkinson.
Thank you for your time.
Moving down, I have a raffle poker run clinical arts license application for the Trace Biddle Scholarship Fund. Brett, I think this got sent over to you.
All proper.
Everything looks good? Anybody have any questions about this?
You said it was good, it's good.
I think it's good.
Make a motion that we approve the raffle poker run license for Trace Biddle Scholarship Fund.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jim Razor,
Yay.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Tim Atkinson,
Moving on down to committee and board appointments. We have two individuals that have been serving on the Williamson County Fire Protection District, and their terms are up, and they wish to be reappointed to that position. They are Matt Lee, who would be reappointed to serve another 3-year term commencing on April 30th, 2025, and due to expire on April 30th, 2028. And Tracy Emery to be reappointed to serve another 3-year term commencing on April 30th, 2025, and due to expire on April 30th, 2028. Questions or concerns about these two? Okay, hearing nothing, I make a motion that we accept resolution number 25-04-08-46. That is to appoint these two people, Matt Lee, and Tracy Emery, to terms commencing on April 30th, 2025, and to expire on April 30th, 2028.
Second.
Second, roll call, please.
Jim Razor,
Yay.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Tim Atkinson,
Okay. We have an appointment to the Williamson County Joint Emergency Telephone System, and a long-serving member of that committee, Mr. Norris, Jeremy Norris, he succumbed to his battle with cancer a few weeks ago. And we need to replace his seat on that committee. Mr. Morris was an incredible guy.
Absolutely. Huge loss to emergency services.
Yeah, and when I went on that committee in 2021, always welcoming, always just a great guy. Great, I didn't really know him before then, but he is a great lost star to the community.
Great.
Yeah. So that means the sheriff reached out to me and asked me if I would consider appointing his deputy, his chief deputy, Robert Terry, to that position. And Mr. Terry has agreed to serve, he's agreed to make the meetings, be a consistent member to that board. And accepting the sheriff's request, I would like to appoint Robert Terry to this board. It would be to serve out the remainder of the 3-year term due to the vacancy of Chief Jeremy Morse commencing on April 8th, 2025, due to expire on January 1st, 2027.
Second.
Okay,
Make a resolution.
well, I haven't made a motion yet. I'm saying that was it. No, I just, didn't know if there was any conversation, sir. All right, I make a motion that we accept resolution number 25-04-08-47 to appoint Robert Terry to the vacant term of Chief Jeremy Morris, commencing on April 8th, 2025, and expiring on January 1st, 2027. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Jim Razor,
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Tim Atkinson,
Yeah. I have one more board appointment today, and this is to Williamson County Housing Authority. And having discussed this appointment with Steve Miller, the chairman, and the past chairman, Don Newell, both of you guys have served on this board for a long time. And I'd like to note for the record that this is an extremely well-run board, and you guys have done an excellent job.
We appreciate it, Chairman.
Yeah, and we need members to serve on boards, and you guys set good examples for me. I appreciate it. So the person that Chairman Miller has brought to me is Ellen Tanner. Right? That was, at one point I thought maybe it was Helen, It was actually Ellen Tex.
Yeah.
Okay, and Stephanie corrected me on that this morning. So she would be filling Mr.
John Hitchens.
John Etchen, his term. I always have a hard time saying his.
That's right.
His term. And she will be serving until September 10th, 2029. Is that correct? Okay. Gentlemen, I make a motion that we accept resolution number 25-08, 04-08-48. That is to appoint Ellen Turner, or Tanner, to the remainder of the 5-year term commencing on today's date and due to expire on September 10th, 2029. Is there a second? Okay, roll call, please.
Jim Razor.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Tim Anderson.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner.
You're welcome. Okay, is there any public comment?
Not about that.
Please come up.
Okay.
If you
Here's
could,
what-
could you state your name for the record?
My name is Lori Fisher. And there's a lot of elderly people that live in Blairsville. We're a non-incorporated area. We all got these papers in now, it's called PT Tax 228, I believe. And I came here and talked to some of the people up in front, and they said that it was in regards to people having structures in their yards, meaning sheds, carports. And then I asked, does it have to have a concrete foundation? They said, we don't know. Well, there's a lot of people out there that don't have these Cook's buildings that are on concrete foundations. In fact, I have a carport that's not on a concrete foundation, and I also have a 16 or 18 by 21 carport garage with a big door. That's not on concrete. Nothing in my yard is on concrete except my home. Now, I would like to understand something. Are we going to be taxed for the structures that are on our properties? So I can let these people know. I mean, I'm talking about
Elderly,
elderly.
you have to ask the assessor on that. We don't, the county board does not assess
Oh,
parcels.
okay. I was told to come to the meeting. That's all. I
And
was told.
absolutely, and I'm glad that you did.
And I'm trying to help out elderly people. The lady at the water department, she said she didn't know anything about the PT tax 228. I swapped out a paper in the mail. I went over to the assessors and they said it's $80 a structure. And I said, some people are gonna be paying $320. Some people are gonna be, they've got like 5 sheds. Larry Reed does. He's got like 5 sheds outside. I said, you're looking at about 400 more to add into your taxes at the end of the year. I go, but that's what my judgment is, what they're telling me. But I can at least go to the board meeting. I'm off here until.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you can hold on to after the meeting and we'll go over to the assessor's office.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Good, I was about to ask one of you, I don't have time after the meeting either.
Thank you.
You can just kind of hang on, just sit tight, and we'll go over there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome to the meeting anytime.
I just find it
We'll get it
interesting.
straightened out.
All right, does anybody else have any public comment they'd like to make?
I do. I have one comment. We have a tentative date as of May 17th for countywide cleanup day. Sent the contractor Rhett, and I'm still waiting to hear on from Gary Pearson on the terms of the contract, and that's all. As far as the costs, it was a very successful event last year, and we'll be accepting everything that we did last year. We did make a few changes to the list of items that we accept, like we'll take tires,
But there's a certain quantity of tires. that
No,
we'll take.
no, we take
change
that off because it really doesn't matter if one person has 10 tires or we get 10 tires from 3 people, total. So they're coming in and because if we don't take them, they're gonna end up in county ditches.
Yeah.
The tires themselves, they can be on the steel wheel at our limit, just bring in the tire. We just will not accept commercial tires. But the electronics, appliances, and I think what else did we take last year?
We take paint.
We take latex paint, that's been treated with cap. That's it as far as chemicals, no other chemicals. But they did take, batteries, car batteries, was limited on that, that was one. But,
But it was household, not yard waste, right?
not yard
Trees
waste,
or brush or
not
anything like that.
municipal waste, yeah, nothing like that. Just any other trash that you had, no, shingles or any construction. So that sort of thing. But, the list, once approved, will be on our website. We'll be, announcing this in the media, and we're looking for another good event. I do know that, the closing at Crenshaw, we'll have to work that out and, as far as how to get access there.
Yes, sir.
So,
And there will be a residency requirement.
yes, there's a residency requirement. This is for Williamson County. It was a good event. It was very well organized. You just drive through, they'll direct you where to go, they'll unload for you, everything. So it was very well run. We collected a lot of refrigerators, air conditioners, furnaces, water heaters, stuff, stoves, and it doesn't matter what color. We had white appliances last year. Colorado, they could take a yellow appliance. So, it's a good event and they collected a lot of material. So
May 17th.
May 17th
Starting-
from 7 o'clock in the morning till 12 noon. And as soon as I get back from Gary, what the cost
Can you
is,
bring it back to us?
I'll bring it back to the board and then we approve it. Let's go, we'll start.
Do we
advertising.
need to finalize that list? We'll take it from them.
We'll have that's another thing. I think the list had got the okay from Gary. It's the same list we had. Okay.
Okay, I know that.
Yeah, we just made some minor changes to it.
Yeah, there's modifications to the tire limit. To the,
Yeah, and that was the thing, the reasoning on the tires, because we had people come in that used to have 4 automotive tires as well. When the guys got 5, made the trip. And you want to turn them away for 1 tire. And that's, when we collect, so, just no commercial, and they'll handle it. Yeah.
Commissioner Marlowe, last year I helped with the advertisement for that using Hyperreach. So once that is finalized and that list is available, will you please email? it to me
Absolutely.
So I can send. it?
Absolutely, that was a great help. That was great help. Thanks, Brian.
Any other public comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll move down to miscellaneous. I know that we have animal control conversation today, this afternoon with architect. We will recess and reconvene at, was that 1:30, Jim?
1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock. Okay, 1 o'clock. Okay, we do have travel reimbursements. That one from Commissioner Marlowe, this was Springfield?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a conference, a joint conference between the Illinois Association of Townships and the Illinois Association of County Board Members, which I'm first vice chair on that. There's proposed legislation to consolidate townships and if they're under certain townships or under certain populations. It was a very lively discussion. And, so it's yet to be seen what will happen in Springfield, whether it passes legislation. There's a lot of argument against it. And that's mainly coming from those counties that are townships. But anyway, it was a meeting of 2 different associations.
Okay, that was on 3/18, March 18th. The mileage was 386 miles, and that was $270.20. And that's the total. You didn't spend the night then?
No.
So we have the total travel reimbursement for $270.20. I make a motion that we accept this travel reimbursement. Commissioner Marlowe, $270.20.
second.
Roll call, please.
Jim Marlowe,
Abstain.
Jim Razor, Tim Metzger.
Yeah. Okay, and I was in Springfield the next day. I was up for a 2-day USCC and ISACO legislative conference. Where we discussed all of the wonderful work that Springfield is doing for our citizens in this state. I hate to even ask for reimbursement to this because we know what Springfield does. But that being said, I had 370 miles and that's $259. I stayed one night at the Lincoln Hotel downtown Springfield. That cost was $228. I did not pay that. I put that on my county credit card. So the total reimbursement to me would just be the 370 miles at $259. The lodging, that was on my county credit card. So that being said, is there a motion to approve this?
So I would like clarification. So the total amount here that I see listed is the 487, but are you saying you only need 259?
That's all I need, correct.
So this total line should be 259.
That should be 259, but I wanted to make clear that we spent $228.
So second on the 259.
Okay, roll call please.
Jim Razor.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah,
Tim Anderson.
Shane?
I do have one question on that. This is
Yeah.
the UCC thing, will they be reimbursing?
They will be, yeah. Right, so all that's reimbursed. The lodging may not be fully reimbursed for full transparency. They had booked a slot of rooms that they had available at about half that price. It was $140, I think, for the rooms. And they went very quickly. And by the time I got a hold of them, they would not give me that rate. So I had to pay full rate. And full rate was actually $296, but we had a bad room and they would take $100 off.
So they need to get a plumber in there.
Yeah, I had to repair the toilet while I was in the room. So that's maybe too much information for these folks. Yeah, $100. Yeah, $100, yeah, I got that back from the county. All right, does anybody have anything else?